Everyone, another week, another demo. This week has actually been really productive, so I'm really excited to show you everything that's new. But before I do, I want to remind you that every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I host a users group, a virtual users group. Um, and I say users in quotes because whether you're using Cortex right now or planning to, interested in, evaluating, whatever stage of the process you're in, you're more than welcome to come, ask me questions, learn about what's new in Cortex, ask your peers, other people who are either using Cortex or thinking about using Cortex. Um, it's a forum that, basically, a period of time that I'm setting aside on my calendar to be available to you all live, to answer all your questions. They are not recorded, because I want them to be, as free and open as possible. Um, so you can, come with your questions, come with your thoughts, come with your opinions, um, and learn from each other, learn from me. Uh, this users group really is, what we all make it. And as I've said before, community is the kind of the most important part of both what Cherwell was and the vision that I have for Cortex as well. So, all that being said, 10 a.m. Pacific time, on Tuesday. Remember to come and join us. Link in the description below to get an invite to that. So let's talk about what I've done in Cortex over the last week, and let's just jump to the demo. So here we go. Here's the main screen. Um, One thing that you might notice. Let me zoom in a little bit. There's a new log out button. That's not huge and monumental. Log out, yay! Uh, but it actually makes it a lot easier to demo these things, and uh, you know, logging out is kind of important in some scenarios. So let's actually log out. I'm currently logged in as CSD admin, but let's log in as Claire, who is actually someone who can't see everything in the system. So we have things to demo there. I've been doing a lot of stuff with security groups lately. So now we can see I'm logged in as Claire. We'll just go to browse my business objects, and you'll notice that I have significantly fewer business objects than are actually available in the system, available to me. This is not new. This is something that I added last week, um, and this is the basic, do I have access to this business object? What is new this week is that uh, incident is limited to only the incidents that I'm allowed to see. So before, it was just all incidents in the system, but incident for Claire security group, is configured only to show incidents where I believe customer name is Claire Wu, the full name, or the it doesn't show on the grid, but the assigned to is Claire. So this one, customer name, is not Claire. But if we drill in, we'll see, once it loads, that this is assigned to Claire. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, that's weird. Assigned to Claire, that's a technician, but uh, submitted by, created by, customer name, that's a customer. Yes, that is absolutely correct. And that actually highlights one of the slight modifications I had to make to the demo database in order to show some of these things. So I do want to, right off the bat, say that this still, Cortex does not require you to make any changes to your Cherwell database. I made changes to my Cherwell database so that I could demo specific features and specific situations that weren't present in the Cherwell demo database. You all, many of you all, have situations where different technician security groups have access to different uh, business objects. You might have an HR security group that has access to HR case and that sort of thing, and an IT security group that has access to incident and that sort of thing. And that's an oversimplification. So I wanted to show that sort of scenario. In that case, everybody's a user. So in my case, I basically made everyone a user. Now, in the demo database, if you uh, dived past tense of dive, if you've gone deep into the Cherwell demo database, you'll notice that there's actually authentication information for uh, technicians and portal users, and both technicians and portal users, there's a technician and a portal user by the same name. Uh, Basically, every name is duplicated as a technician user and a portal user, which is super weird and super complicated, a little bit confusing. But in this case, I'm saying that there is one person named Claire Wu, and regardless of whether Claire is submitting a ticket or working on a ticket, it is still Claire who is logged in. Now, because of that distinction that I've made, that might still be a little bit confusing for your database, and I understand that. I'll help walk you through it based on your particular scenario. Link in the description to find ways to contact me and talk to me, and we can certainly talk about this in more detail in any of the users groups. So that was probably more confusing than it needed to be, and actually didn't shed light on on what's going on here. Um, but in this case, just know that Claire Wu is a name, and this particular security group has a filter that says if display name is equal to Claire Wu, then we should show it to Claire Wu. And that's basically it. Other things you might notice is that the grid, each column now actually has a reasonable size to it. Before, all of the grid columns were pretty much exactly the same size, and it actually always tried to smash them into what would fit on the screen. No more. Each column is using the appropriate amount of space based on what was defined in the particular grid definition. So because the font size is actually a little bit bigger here, there's a multiplier added so that it all looks appropriate. But it does use what's in the database to judge how big each column should be. And it's not just limited to this. I think this is the incident browse grid. But if I drill in again, you'll notice the same thing on grids that show up. Say task. Well, apparently task doesn't work right now. I've been having issues with task. Task has not wanted to cooperate. So I've been going back and forth on that. Let's see if okay, problem works. Related CIs. Related CIs is also having an issue. So I've got something to look into. But you'll notice customer history. I think that's actually there are a few pieces of expressions that don't quite have an analog in Cortex quite yet. So one in particular is like current user team, or I forget exactly what it's called, but it's the team of the current user. I don't have a concept of teams yet, so right now that's kind of blank. So there might be some issues you run into with that, but you'll notice customer history, that grid also has appropriate sizing. So fret not, this issue, whatever's going on here, might be fixed by the time you watch this video. It won't be fixed by the time this video is released on Monday morning, but if you're watching this on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, uh, this has probably already been fixed. Um, and if it hasn't, it'll be fixed very, very soon. Um, so yeah, that's basically it. Everything that I've done over the past week. Lots of stuff with grids and lots of stuff with security groups. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. Besides the bugs actually get fixed. That will happen. Um, but at this point, I'm Cortex is pretty much done from the perspective of being used as an archive tool or as an audit tool, access to your data. So the next few demos will have some very interesting content. It'll start getting into some things that I'm really excited about building. Not that I'm not excited about what I've been building, but kind of some new directions for Cortex, which are not, let me be clear, Cortex will always be available as an audit and archival tool for Cherwell data. And if that's all you want from it, that's totally fine. There will always be an option to buy that. Again, links down below to contact me to get that process rolling to see this on your data, so that you can continue to have access to your Cherwell data even after you no longer have licenses to Cherwell Service Manager. Um, but I have plans for Cortex beyond just being an audit and archival tool, um, and I hope to show that off in the next few demos. So, with that in mind, remember the user group every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, via Zoom. Links down below. If you want to see Cortex on your data, let me know. Again, links down below. If you have questions, add that to the comments, or there's a plethora of other ways to ask me questions. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I want to get this information out to as many people as possible. It's all about the community. It's all about you. So if you found this useful, send it to, 3 other people who use Cherwell or 5 other people who use Cherwell, and get everybody uh, subscribed, knowing that this is a resource that's available. And let me know how I can continue to improve Cortex and share information with you all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you, well, Tuesday, but also next week.